Welcome to another small build. This is my bar top arcade that I built a few weeks ago. I'd like to improve the marquee on the top. The arcade is a pretty standard build that you can find online. The screen is from a broken MacBook. It's got some speakers and a little amp from Amazon. On the side here, you have a Bluetooth controller for 2 players, and that's because I wanted to keep it really quite small. And also have room for the rollerball thing, which I think is great for some games like Missile Command. This is the original part I made for the marquee, and it's just a laser printout made on 2 sheets of A4, which I soaked in resin and then let it stick to the back of the perspex. However, when you turn on the lights to light it up, it looks pretty awful. So much in fact that I added a switch to turn off the marquee backlight. I love creating and building stuff, and I could arrange to have some plastic printed marquee artwork, but I really enjoy making as much as I can on these kind of builds. So I've been using Raspberry Pis for years, but I can't write any code, and so I never really got into Arduino. Last week, my son was doing a project in his design class, and he showed me how he was using an Arduino. So we bought one, and we tried to learn a little bit more about his project, and I also got really interested, and it seemed like a lot of fun. And as I said, I can't write code, and at first I just wanted to have some scrolling text, and then I thought of using AI to write some more code. And after a couple of hours of refining the output, I had over six. This is 600 lines of code for this animation, and so it's exciting that for years I wanted to get around to learning how to code, and now I can make these little projects with AI. So it's super exciting. By using a tinted car windscreen strip that I got on Amazon for my Mandalorian helmet build, it actually makes the LED much more readable. I love building little projects like this. And if you like watching me build stuff too, then a quick like and subscribe would be super awesome because I'd love to grow the channel. And any of your support would be really appreciated. Thanks. I try to keep things on the low voltage if possible, and everything here is able to be powered from 12 volts. And I also have a 5-volt converter on the inside. It's a bit of a mess in the back here. I always knew that I would be taking it apart again to fix the marquee. So let's do some cutting out, removing the old marquee. As the resin does not stick very well to the smooth perspex, you can see me here using a razor blade to clean it off so I can reuse the perspex. What I'm doing here is extending the wires from the LED matrix to the Arduino. Also the male DuPont cables, they always seem to come loose for me, but the female connectors they're much more effective. So I'm soldering on a couple of pins to the Arduino so that I can put female DuPont cables from the LED matrix and the power. In the back of the arcade, like I said, I have a small USB converter, so I'm making also a power cable extension for the LED matrix to USB cable, which I'll plug into that converter. That will power the LED because the Arduino doesn't have enough power to power the LED. And then the Arduino itself is going to be powered from the USB socket on the Raspberry Pi. And at the same time I'm doing the soldering of these wires, I have my 3D printer in the corner, printing out a square matrix to enhance each LED by giving it a little reflective square around it. It's a little difficult to work here because that's what I have at my feet. One there, one there. it's a little difficult. We can't get rid of the soldering yet because it's not cooled down. Okay. So we're going to use this for power to the board. This for power for this. Potentially we might need a longer USB cable depending on where we mount this. And we're just waiting for the 3D print. So as usual, I always get a bit of help from the dogs. So I'm being very slow, careful, and very steady as I'm moving these things around. With these tiny little circuit boards and soldered connections, I have a very bad history of just accidentally snapping stuff off because I'm a little bit clumsy. So I work better with a hammer than a solder iron. So yeah, that's why I'm being very careful. There's a few stringy parts on the print. And in a minute you'll see me join these two parts together as it's so much easier to work as one piece. And just looking at it here at this test, the dark grey of the filament printer is just not really reflecting the light. It's a big improvement with the squares, but they need to reflect much better. So giving it a coat of a light grey primer will hopefully reflect the light back better. So these have got a little layer of primer now, primer filler. So I didn't have any white, but I just wanted to see what it looked like with a little bit lighter. There's a bit of a bad join there. To get this print fitting a little better, I probably should have printed it on a raft. As I know, my printer makes a little bit of an elephant's foot on the first 3 layers, but it's fixable, and with a little bit of filing, make it fit. my son commented on the Pac-Man animation. He said it's really triggering because it doesn't eat the pellets when his mouth is open. So please let me know in the comments if you can think of any changes or any other cool animations that you think I could add to the sequence.
Certainly better, you can see the whole thing. Okay. Let's see if we put a little bit of silver instead. We've got this extreme metal. So maybe if I do it silver, it would be a little bit better. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I have sprayed. Turn the lights back on. I sprayed this one with the silver. The surface is not very smooth. It's a fresh print. Even though I put filler primer on it, it's still not super smooth. So that's why the silver is not super showing up. But you can see it's quite a difference compared with just the regular primer. So I'm just interested to see if that reflective silver is going to make any difference. So let's turn the lights off again. Put the cover back on and turn it back on. See if we can tell the difference from here. Nice and reflective. I cannot tell any difference whatsoever. Oh, this is a good one because it's kind of like side and side. No, I really can't tell the difference between the silver and the grey primer. Maybe a fraction if you stare at it, maybe a fraction. But even as you see the word going across, it doesn't change that much. So I don't think it made much difference, to be honest. What would be nice is a misting. Like some greaseproof paper or something. Yeah, let me try that. I'm going to get some greaseproof paper. I've seen a couple of different options. You can sand the perspex to make it matte. I've also seen people use greaseproof paper, so let's see how that looks. That's actually quite nice, you know. Wow, how isn't that effective? Just for a bit of pizza paper. That's pretty amazing. I still can't tell the difference between the shiny silver and the primer, but definitely the greaseproof paper is a lovely addition. Wow, that's a lovely addition. Okay, look how big everything is now. Wow, that's phenomenal. Okay, so this is the outside. And what we need to do is just make a cut of this. There we go. You can keep that for pizza day. I'm not even going to bother wasting my silver paint on this left-hand side piece. You really can't tell the difference. You know what? It'd be really hilarious if the camera's showing it up and everybody's screaming. Well, the two people watching this are screaming. Make sure you spray it silver, but I'm not going to.
So now, with the greaseproof baking paper and the matrix glued together, it's time to screw it on. I don't need the LED backlight strip from before that I had on already. And time will tell if I need to install the switch that I had to turn off that marquee. For this install, though, I'm just going to leave the switch disconnected because I don't really find that the LEDs are too distracting while you're playing. So I realized I needed a mount for the Arduino as well, somewhere to put that in the back, mounted nice and safely. So that's also being 3D printed at the same time. The little blue box here that you can see in the back is the controller board for the MacBook screen. It's a great way of reusing old laptops by turning the screens into monitors. I think this is another video of how not to do it. As you can see, I've mounted the LED upside down. And refitting it here, I'm also taking advantage of mounting it again to make the holes in the perspex and mount the tiny screws. Because the perspex I'm using is pretty thin, it's not holding flat and tight to the 3D printed matrix. And that means some of the lines are not as clear as they should be because there's a bit of a gap between the perspex, the baking paper, and the 3D printed part. So in a minute, I have the idea to screw it all from the front across all of the mounting holes on the 3D printed part. I really like the look. It's a sort of an over-engineered look. All the screws match the ones on the speaker grills and stuff. So it's a bit of a steampunk look. But maybe if I get tired of it, I could also paint them black so they're not noticeable. Or another way to do it would be to use a thicker perspex sheet, drill it from the back, and mount the LED to the perspex at the back, so you don't see any screws at all. So as you can see, this is the finished job. I'm going to let it run through so you can see the full animation. If you're interested in making something similar, or you think I should post the code online so others can make the same project, please let me know in the comments. And if you got this far in the video, honestly, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. And if you want to see me build more things, leave a comment, like, subscribe, as I know that will really help me grow the channel. And if you hated the video but you like the dogs, leave a like for them because I know they appreciate it. Thanks very much.